You're listening to an AppleVis podcast.
Hey, AppleVisers, Tyler here, with a quick tip for how to encrypt an external disk on macOS. If you have an external storage device, like a flash drive or external SSD, you may want to encrypt it if it's used to store or transfer sensitive data. This way, if the disk was ever misplaced, someone connecting it to their computer or phone would not be able to access its contents without the password. One thing to note about this feature is that macOS encrypts external disks using Apple File System, APFS, meaning that after a disk is encrypted, it is not natively compatible with non-Apple platforms like Windows or Linux. If you want to use an APFS formatted disk with those platforms, you need a third-party app like APFS for Windows by Paragon Software or APFS for Linux by Paragon Software. I'll put links to both in the description of this episode. If the disk you want to encrypt is already formatted as APFS, you can simply connect to your Mac, focus on it on the desktop or in the Finder sidebar, and choose Encrypt from the context menu. If the disk uses another file system like macOS Extended or exFAT, you must erase and reformat it in Disk Utility. I'll demonstrate that later in this tutorial. So the disk I want to encrypt is already formatted as APFS, so I've connected it to my Mac and I'm going to focus on it on the desktop.
Dropbox T untitled volume. Actions available.
Okay. Press VO-Shift-M for the context menu.
Menu.
And press EN for encrypt.
Encrypt untitled.
VO space.
Window. Secure edit text.
And I'm in a dialog now. I'll VO globe left to jump to the top.
Finder image.
VO right.
You must create a password. Finder will use this password to encrypt untitled.
VO right again.
Warning. If you forget this password, you won't be able to retrieve any data from untitled. This operation cannot be cancelled. For help creating a good password, click the key.
Okay, so as said, this password is the only way to access the contents of this disk once it's encrypted. So when choosing a password, pick one that's reasonably difficult for others to guess, but easy enough for you to remember. I'll VO right.
Encryption password.
Encryption password.
Secure edit text.
I'll type a password. VO right.
Passwords button.
And that is the button, the key icon that the warning message was referring to, and that will generate a strong password for you, a random string of letters and numbers. However, if you do this, I recommend copying it and putting it in a safe place, because a random string of letters and numbers can be hard to remember. VO right.
Verify password.
Verify password.
Secure edit text.
Enter the password again. VO right.
Password hint. Required edit text. Blank.
Something that can help you remember the password. Just type
HINT.
VO right.
Help button. Cancel button. Encrypt disk. Default button.
Encrypt.
Untitled volume.
And,
Actions available.
And that happened pretty much instantaneously because I don't have any data on this disk. If you have data on your disk, this may take longer depending on the speed of your Mac, the speed of the disk, and the speed of the connection to the disk. So now if I eject the disk...
Eject untitled volume. T7 volume. Actions available.
Okay, so it's now off the desktop. I will unplug it. And now, if I connect it to my Mac, give it a sec.
Application, system dialog. Enter a password to unlock the disk untitled. Password, secure edit text.
Okay, because the disk is encrypted, I need the password to unlock it. So I'm going to enter the password that I created.
One system type.
And if I VO right,
remember this password in my keychain. Uncheck checkbox.
Remember this password in my keychain. If you check that, you will not need to enter the password each time you connect the disk to your Mac because it's remembered in the keychain. Now, when it says your keychain, it refers to your Mac's local login keychain, and it's not iCloud's. It's not iCloud keychain, so the password will not be synced. If you choose to remember a password in your keychain and need to access it, at the time of recording, you do so in Keychain Access, located in the Utilities folder. I say at the time of recording because with the increased emphasis on iCloud Keychain, Apple has changed or relocated some of the functions and made them easier to access in password settings or Wi-Fi settings or Safari. So, and it wouldn't surprise me if in the future Keychain Access was deprecated or this function was relocated. But at the time of recording, you access passwords in your login keychain in Keychain Access. So I'll be all right.
Show hint button. Cancel button. Unlock. Default button. Font T7 volume. Actions available. T7 Dropbox Untitled Volume. Actions.
And now that disk is mounted on my desktop. So that's how to encrypt an APFS formatted disk. But what if I need to encrypt a disk in a different file system? As said earlier, you have to erase and reformat it first in Disk Utility. Now, as this process erases all data on the disk, unlike the previous process, which encrypts all data in place, be sure to copy anything you want to keep from the disk before doing so. So I'm going to open Disk Utility. I'll go into the Utilities folder.
Utilities window. List view table.
Press D.
Digital color mirror app. Disk Utility application.
Disk Utility.
Open. Disk Utility window. Disk selection table. Row 6 of 17. Back.
And I don't necessarily know if you have to do this, but when formatting a disk as APFS, I like to format the entire disk as that file system, just because of the way that APFS handles partitioning a little differently than other file systems. So I like to have the whole disk in the same format. So I'm going to press Command 2 to show all devices in the table.
Show all devices checked. Macintosh HD snap.
And I'm going to locate the disk.
Row 4 expanded. Row 5 data. Macintosh HD2 vault. G drive open container disk 5. G drive open untitled. Eject. G drive mobile USB-C media. Eject button.
And this is the top level of my disk. If you're unsure, if you don't want to accidentally erase another disk, you may want to disconnect any other external disks before erasing. So now that I have my disk selected in the table, I could either click the erase button in the toolbar, choose erase from the edit menu, or press Command-Shift-E. So I'm going to press Command-Shift-E.
In dialog, Untitled 2, contents selected, edit text, erase, G drive mobile USB-C media. Erasing, G drive mobile USB-C media will permanently erase all data stored on it. You can't undo this action. Name, format, scheme.
Okay, so name, you could just give it any name. It's just Untitled 2. I'll VL right.
Format, APFS, pop-up button.
APFS. And whatever format your disk is, you want to choose...
Menu, checkmark.
From this pop-up menu.
APFS encrypted.
APFS encrypted. Once you do that, you choose a password. It's not going to work on this disk because it's already encrypted, but I'm going to get out of this pop-up menu. And after you choose a password, you'll be back in this dialog. VO right.
Scheme. GUID partition map, pop-up button.
GUID partition map, make sure that's what's selected for you. VO right.
Security options button.
Security options, that determines how the data will be erased. By default, the data will not be written over if it's a hard drive, but you can hit security options to specify how many times macOS will write over the erased disk, which makes it more difficult to recover with forensic tools. That's not available on every device. This is an external hard drive, which it appears to be available on this one, but it may not be available for your external disk. VO right.
Cancel button.
VO right again.
Erase button.
Erase, and this is the button that will erase the disk format as APFS encrypted. So that's a quick tip for how to encrypt an external disk, whether it's in APFS or another file system. I hope you found it helpful. Peace.
This AppleVis podcast has been brought to you by the community of AppleVis.com for the latest in resources and tips and tricks to get you the best experience from your Apple device. Visit www.applevis.com.